Yes. Man, now I sound way more congested than I did at the start of this. Oh,
That's
no.
okay.
That's
fine. Okay.
I'll survive.
That's our new brand. Never Show the Monster Stuffy Edition.
Yay!
Do you think Ryan could make like a
cute little one with
art?
me just shoving tissue up my nose?
Yeah.
Okay, he'd do it.
Yeah, we both just
too.
have snot on our faces.
Oh, yeah.
Cute.
So cute.
Happy holidays.
They're going to say happy Halloween. I'm struggling.
I mean, that's the real
It's a time.
holiday.
We're in time. The only holiday that matters.
Yeah, when is this episode coming out?
Halloween. We're going to go on hiatus right now and then release this on Halloween next year.
We can release it a year after the movie came out.
Perfect. We planned this perfectly.
Oh, Christmas Eve.
Oh, this is cute.
I hope everybody's cozy and
watching scary movies.
Hung your stockings with care, etc.
Yeah, etc.
Welcome to Never Show the Monster. My name is Kelly Attaway.
I'm Chelsea Hollander.
And today we are talking about Smile 2. Yeah. And others at all? There were other movies?
Oh, yeah. I told you to watch a couple movies, but it was a couple weeks ago. We have not recorded in a very long time.
Yeah.
So I watched a lot of movies because we watch movies in the theater. So sometimes it's hard for me to get to the theater movies, but I did watch Smile 2 twice.
Me too.
Yeah. So if that's any indication of whether or not you should see it, I would be willing to watch it a third time in theaters. Unfortunately, it's not in theaters, but I would watch it a third time in theaters.
I absolutely would. I wouldn't be surprised if this one got the treatment. Like this year, I've seen a lot of movies. Yeah, like a month after it leaves, they're back. I wouldn't be surprised if this got that, and I would go see it.
I would go see it. Yeah.
And it's also for purchase now.
Yes, I did see that. And I was like, man, I want to watch. Right when I saw it pop up, I was like, I want to go watch that in a theater.
I know. Yeah, same.
But I will I'm going to purchase it. I'm going to wait a little bit to see if the price goes down.
Yeah.
But 100%, this is a movie I am purchasing.
Yeah, so spoiler, we liked it.
Yeah, sorry. What if at the end we were just like, actually, it was fine. Didn't like it.
Just okay.
No,
just okay. No, what else did you watch? You recommended to me. Well, you didn't necessarily recommend.
I just said watch these movies because I have things I have to say about them.
And unfortunately, I only watched one of them. But I also watched its Swedish original.
Okay, good. I really want to talk about that. So maybe we'll do that in a new episode. Good. Because I watched the... Danish?
I
don't know. Somewhere.
Speak no evil.
In Europe.
Yeah. Oh, it's Danish-Dutch.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That makes sense. I watched that one a long time ago based on my brother's recommendation. And then I watched the newer one. Or the Americanized one. And wow.
Very different.
Very different. And but like, if you watch the trailers, it looks like a carbon copy of the movie.
Yeah,
which
but
is
it
bonkers.
Is not.
It is not. So, we'll talk about that later. I'm so excited that you watched it because I really want to watch both. Yeah, I was going to say, okay. So let's not talk about that this episode, but that'll get you guys excited for the next one after this one, because I think we're going to talk about Oddity.
Yes.
Was that Mouse?
Did my door open?
Yes.
Yeah, Mouse just came.
Thank God.
Yeah.
I was about to be like, oh my God, Kelly.
Thank you for reacting. I really appreciate it. Yeah. No, I looked over my shoulder earlier, saw that it was too closed, and then thought to myself, Mouse knows how to open a partially open door, but I did not think.
I kind of saw a tail, so I was like, maybe it's just Mouse, but if I didn't see a tail or think it was Mouse, you would have had a much stronger, louder reaction from it.
Thank you.
Yeah. If there's a person behind you, you will get a very loud reaction. I will call someone immediately as well.
What would I do? I have nowhere to go. I'm in the very back of the house. I'm on the second floor.
Well, you could use your microphone.
Hell yeah, I could. Oh God, I could even use the microphone cable.
Yeah, perfect.
God, really fuck them up.
You have good. All the weapons you need right in front of you. And the other movie was Blink Twice.
Which I did not watch that one.
Okay.
And I'm glad that you mentioned it because I totally forgot that. The other ones on my list were Strange Darling.
Oh, I did watch that, yeah. Mm-hmm,
and
I bought it. I think I bought Strange Darling. So
yes.
Yeah, we talked about I figured out what it was. So and what was the other one? Trapped? Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't watch that one or before?
No, I somehow missed it in the theater. I don't know.
Fine.
I think because I had to go see Longlegs so many times.
Yeah, I think you did the right thing. I think you made the correct decision.
Yeah.
I do love Josh Hartnett though. So
of course.
And he knocked that out of the park.
Oh, hell yeah.
But you need to watch it to understand what he's knocking out of the park, I guess.
Okay, I hope that my theory proves correct. Listeners, we published it in a previous episode.
Do you want me to tell you if your theory was correct?
No, I don't.
Okay, I'll keep it in.
Thanks. Yeah, I like to, I don't know, I guess be surprised by my own thoughts.
Aww.
Speaking of, smile too. You see that segue? Being surprised by your own thoughts, your bad brain thoughts.
Oh, those thoughts.
From the bad.
God. Okay, I'm just gonna say one thing up top because I'm assuming everyone's watched it, and if you haven't, once again, this is one that I would recommend that you go watch it before you listen to this. But holy fucking shit, I loved that movie. I loved it.
Same, dude. Like, I loved the first Smile. This one I love more.
Yeah, and I was like, how are they gonna... I was like, Smile was so good and so unexpected. I do not think... Like, I went in with high expectations because of Smile. And it, like, was a whole other, like, journey. And it was amazing. And I can't even...
So incredible.
So excited to get into it.
And, like, this one... Okay, so to your point... after the first Smile, when they said they were making a sequel, I think we were both a little bit like...
What could you even do?
Right, like the premise is really well established. Okay, so if you haven't seen the movie, either of them, the very basic premise is it's essentially a trauma monster. So there's like this trauma monster. The director calls it the Smiler. So the Smiler inhabits a person and sort of haunts them from the inside for 7 days, makes them feel increasingly paranoid and just out of their mind. And at the end of those 7 days, they are fully possessed by the Smiler and end up killing themselves in front of another person. And the other person contracts the parasite of the Smiler by witnessing that trauma. And so that's a pretty straightforward premise. Mm-hmm. And so when they announced a sequel, I think we were both like, but we told the story.
Yeah. So what else could you even do with it? And they did it. They did with it.
Yeah, I adored this movie.
Yeah.
And weirdly, I somehow forgot how much I loved it between my first viewing and second viewing. Like, I watched it the first time, loved it. Yeah. And then we kept having to postpone the record of this episode. And somehow in that time, I forgot how much I liked it. And so I was like, oh, I should go see this again before we record the episode.
Refresh.
And like 5 minutes in, I was like, oh, right, I fucking love this. Not even 5 minutes in. The movie starts so strong.
So strong. I accidentally, the first time I went and saw it, I had to cut it really close. And I ended up being 5 minutes late. So I missed a lot of the beginning. Yes. And then whenever Ryan was like, I kind of want to see it. And I was like, we're going to see it then. We're going to see it. We will see it. But that was, I got in and I saw the end part of the first the like
cold open essentially
at the end part of it, and I was like, what the fuck, I missed a lot in a very
did you recognize that it was
Oh,
Kyle
of course
Gallner?
I did.
Okay.
Of course.
Well, I didn't know when you say the end, he's, a pulp.
Well, the part that I saw was he came in, well, like the part that I walked in was when he said, "This wasn't for you."
Oh,
and then I was like, what is happening?
Yeah, shit.
You get in and it's already at a 10.
Yeah. And it's 7 days after the end of the last movie is when we pick back up. So it starts off with finishing up Kyle Gallner's storyline. So I want to get through some of the credits before we get too lost in the plot, because I can already tell we're going to be excited.
Yeah.
Okay, so Smile 2, 2024. Written and directed by Parker Flynn, who wrote and directed the first film. These are his only 2 major motion pictures.
Hope he keeps making more everything. Hope he makes everything.
Yeah, agreed. I love his style. It's so fully formed right out of the gate. I love his ethos around practical effects. I love his commitment to character. I'm a Parker Finn fangirl, I guess.
Yep.
The movie stars Naomi Scott, primarily. She plays Sky Riley, a famous pop star who is about to embark on a world tour after a year hiatus because she sort of spun out in her fame and addiction prior to this, and some bad shit happened and she had to go recover, and now she is back to be famous again. And her mom is played by Rosemary DeWitt, who is so familiar to me.
Oh.
She's been in a million things. I recognized her immediately, but could not place her in anything.
Did you look her up to see what else she's been?
Yeah, I think the thing I must recognize her from is Mad Men.
Oh. Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah, she's only in a couple episodes, but she's got a very unique face. She's got a very unique beauty, I think. So, I don't know. She stuck out to me. And then we've got Lucas Gage playing Lewis.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who?
He is in a lot of stuff, mostly recently. But the thing that I remember him from was he was in that audition video that the guy forgot to mute. And he was like, this guy is interviewing, or this guy's doing this. I mean, it could have been a stunt, but if it was,
I don't know what you're talking
great job.
About.
He went viral because it was him doing an audition over Zoom. Yeah. And the producer or the casting director said that he put him on mute. He didn't put him on mute, and he was on the phone, and he was talking about how shitty his apartment was. And then
you did.
And then he goes, that's he says in it, he was like, yeah, if you just give me the part, then I can get a better apartment. Thanks, man. He was awesome about it.
Yeah.
And I mean, it could have full well been a stunt, but it was a really endearing video to introduce you to this person and make him memorable. And then I later saw him in things oh no, what's that one? The Lotus.
White Lotus?
Yeah, White Lotus. He was in the first season of White Lotus, I think. And then he was in You. And he's been in a ton of stuff since then. Yeah. And I've been I hope this guy keeps doing stuff. And I've seen interviews with him, and he is an interesting dude.
But he seems very laid back. That anecdote about being yeah, just give me the part seems very him from the 2 videos I saw of him behind the scenes for Smile 2.
Oh, yeah.
He crushed this movie. We will get to that in just oh god. And then gosh, I guess there are more actors in this movie than you really think, right? You just sort of focus on Sky Riley. So we've got Peter Jacobson playing the person in the movie who knows about the demon or entity, whatever it is. Yeah. He knows a little about it. We've got Ray Nicholson playing Naomi Scott's Sky Riley's dead ex-boyfriend.
Yep.
And notable asshole. And we've got, oh boy, should have looked up how to say her last name. Dylan Jalula?
Well, notable asshole. Or were we going to talk about, like, he was the Nicholson? He's Jack Nicholson's son?
Yeah, he's Jack Nicholson's son, which explains his face. The whole movie, I was like, what's up with his face? And then I found out later he's Jack Nicholson's son. And I was like, that's what it is.
That's his face is doing, yeah.
Yeah, he's got Jack Nicholson face.
Yeah. How unfortunate.
It's not bad. I just was like, this is... Yeah, I mean, it's also not...
It's bad with a mixture of the smile, so it's fine.
Yes, it's fine.
It's fine at rest. Not at rest, it's a little unsettling.
Oh, God. The most backhanded compliment. Your face is fine at rest.
It's fine when you're not emoting, but when you emote, holy shit.
Stop. And then we've got Dylan Galula as Gemma, Sky Riley's bestie. And of course, Kyle Gallner, our boy, our fave, our D'Artagnan. Favorite. Only here briefly.
I love him so much.
I love him so much. And that is who I wanted to get to so that we could talk about this cold open.
Yes.
Like I said, this movie picks up 7 days after the first smile ends. And so the smiler entity passed to Kyle Gallner, Joel is his character name, at the end of the first one. So sorry, spoiler to the first one.
They went and watched the second one, but they did not watch the first one. So I'm glad
you kind of can. I mean,
it is. Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
you definitely can. I would still recommend watching the first one. I tried to rewatch it today.
Yeah, I didn't leave myself enough time. My bad.
That's fair.
Yeah, I would recommend seeing the first one, but it is like
it could be a wholly separate story. Yeah. Jinx.
Yeah. Well, see, we're back.
If you need to sync up the audio, this is the
perfect
part.
Here's the spot. Yeah. So in the cold open, he is trying to pass the smiler on to somebody else, and you'll recall he was a cop in the first one. And he has selected some like drug dealer cartel, not cartel, but like crime family.
Yeah, crime something. Yeah.
Who killed an innocent woman the year prior. And he's like, if I have to pass this on to somebody, then I want it to be them. And I guess his plan was to commit a murder in front of like, there are two people. He's like, I'm going to commit this murder in front of somebody else as like a swapsies so that I don't have to die. What did you gasp about?
I'm so glad that you said that because I was rewatching the movie today and I forgot that plot point in the first one that the one guy survived because he killed someone.
Oh, and then that's
whenever I was watching it, I was like, I'll let you finish this because I don't want to spoil the thing that everyone should have already seen, but I will talk about it after this.
No, I want to hear what you were going to say.
Oh, well, what ends up happening is he tries to kill him in front of another person, and then he ends up, there's a guy, he doesn't want him to die because the other guy's dead. So if no one can witness it, then fuck. He can't do anything. However, he finds out that there is one guy in the corner who's just like a low-level drug dealer, and he sees it, and then Kyle Gallner, Joel, is very like, no, this wasn't for you. Oh, no,
this wasn't for you.
And then he like looks out the window and then a bunch of people are coming and then they start shooting in the house and then he runs out and then ends up getting hit by a truck. So that was the part that I was like, how did he pass it on? Because he didn't get hit by the truck. And now I understand it's because he murdered someone else that jumped to the other guy. And
you're right.
I didn't put that together because I was like, that guy was inside the house. How did he see Joel get hit? And then watching the thing this morning, I was like, oh, that is a way to get out of it. And now you saying that just put everything together. Because I was like, there is a plot hole. There is no plot hole. This is seamless. This is beautiful.
Yeah, they did it. They did it. Perfect. I totally forgot that was discussed in the first one.
Yeah.
I followed the logic in the second one, but was like, it did feel a little bit like a hole. I was like, what are we doing? What are we doing here? But you're right. This was established.
Yep.
And you know what? I guess it didn't feel like a hole so much as like, oh, there's deeper lore here.
I was like, he didn't kill himself. Like, that was my whole thing. I was like, he didn't kill himself.
Right.
And then this, I was like, this doesn't make any sense. Nothing makes sense. But it is a trauma monster, so it just passes on from the trauma. So even if someone just saw him get hit by a car, that could have passed it on.
Which was my question about how the movie was going to go. Like, the first time I saw it and he got hit by the car, I was like, what a twist.
You're like, well,
car
this
accident.
Is different.
is passing it on. What do you know? That poor driver, who probably is pretty fucked up from running over a guy.
Yeah.
Especially because his entrails are just
everywhere.
Well, they're trailing, I'll tell you that much. They're more like out trails, am I right?
Oh my God.
I know, I'm sorry. I know, I'm sorry.
You have to leave now.
Okay. Okay, you take it from here. I will say, when Kyle Gallner dies, that first time I saw it, I was like, I might just get up and leave.
Yeah. You're like, I just came here for him. I was here for him. And now
I was here for him.
I'm sure you read about this, but the fun fact was that he had thought about making the movie just about Joel and his journey with it. But then he was like, nope, we got to do it. We got to do it better. We got to do it bigger. And they fucking did it.
They fucking did it. Oh, God. And the other notable thing, boy, we are 20 minutes in and we have not moved past the cold open. So,
we're doing great.
That cold open, was it all a one shot? Most of it is.
I think it was because it followed him.
It follows him. Most of that is a oneer.
Yeah. And then him going into the other room, it just follows it. Yeah, I think it might be.
And follows him out the window.
And then getting hit by
I guess maybe it
and then when it gets hit by the vehicle.
Yeah.
That was all different.
Gallner did his own stunts.
Of course he did.
I know, right?
What a perfect.
God, I love him.
What a perfect.
Listeners of the show will recall I used to call him D'Artagnan because he's got that facial hair and I can't remember names, but it's finally in there.
I called him Beaver for a long time. And there are some listeners Beaver. Wait, Beaver. That was his character in Veronica Mars.
Oh.
It was Beaver. Mm-hmm.
I should have guessed that. Wasn't there also a character in Veronica Mars called Ant? No? Okay. I didn't ever watch it.
Maybe. Not that I recall.
Okay. Don't worry about it.
Were there more bug names? More...
Well, yeah. Like critters. Were they all just critters?
There was a Dick.
Huh.
That was his brother. Beaver and Dick were brothers.
Oh, that's funny. I see what they've done there.
Oh, I see what they've done there. Wow. Oh, this is a bad time to realize that.
You're welcome.
Oh, I'm glad you're so quick. And I'm glad I'm so slow. It's nice. It's nice, though, because I can still be surprised, you know?
Yeah. Isn't that good?
Yeah. I still get little delights. Yeah.
Thanks, Kyle Gallner. So, yeah, this movie follows Sky Riley, a pop star. So you may be asking yourself, how do we get from these drug dealers to this pop star? Well, her drug dealer was the punk innocent boy in the, innocent.
Kind of.
I think innocent. I think he's innocent enough.
Yeah, he's a goofball, but he just seems like your regular run-of-the-mill high school dealer. Like, he doesn't seem like a bad dude.
Right. Like, morally, I think he's in the clear.
Yeah.
He witnesses it. Sky Riley reaches out to him for Vicodin because she was in a terrible car accident with Jack Nicholson's son.
Yeah.
Paul Hudson was the character name. Also a famous person in the universe of the movie. I guess and also in real life. He was an actor. They were dating. They got into a car accident. He died. She was horribly injured. And poor Louis Fergoli, her drug dealer. He's real fucked up when she shows up at his house.
Just very paranoid. But he's less paranoid. He's weirdly less paranoid than someone, I don't know. I feel like in Smile, the people that she ran in, or the girl that she ran into was like, she was gone.
Yeah.
And like when people are at the end, they're like gone. But he was still kind of there.
Here's my suspicion about that.
Yeah.
I think when you do a lot of drugs,
seeing weird shit is kind of normal. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yep, that's fair. That's 100% fair.
I also love that when she shows up at his door, he pulls a sword on her, and you're saying he doesn't
That's pretty
seem
good.
that.
You know what? That's true. I mean, that was very abrupt. Yeah. No, good point. Okay, good point. But he like chilled out and he was like, sorry, I've been seeing some weird shit. But once again, not weird. Like she was like, this isn't a weird interaction. She was kind of like, he's a little out of it. But yeah.
Especially like when he is like being fully possessed by the Smiler. She's like, are you ODing?
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. That's what I thought. I would have thought was happening at that moment. Like,
oh, 1000%.
Do you need to do CPR? No? Oh, okay.
Oh, boy. CPR really is taken off the table for this one.
Yeah,
this
for sure.
was brutal.
Yes.
Can we talk about how many movies we've seen lately where somebody just fucks up their face with blunt force trauma?
Are you talking about another movie? What other movie?
Yeah, I'm talking about Longlegs and Talk to Me.
That's true. Oh, yeah, sorry.
I know. They're all...
I think that is one that I have tried very hard to just like...
Yeah, they're all hard to watch.
Which is one of my like uncomfortable things is just the face stuff. And this one was very uncomfortable. Second time I watched it, I did watch it through my fingers. First time I watched it full on. Second time I was like, I've already seen this. I don't need to rehash it. But then I kept hearing the noises and I was is this worse for me to just hear the noise?
The noises.
It's very squishy.
The noises and Ploppy.
Yeah.
And they come back when he's like, when she's imagining him. I guess not imagining him. When she's being forced to see him in her dressing room.
Yeah.
It's like, that is so effective. So blah, blah, blah. She sees him kill himself. She gets
blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah. She gets possessed. While she is preparing for this tour, she's like alone in her dressing room the next day. And she keeps seeing him behind her in the mirror. If you've seen the trailer, I think that this part was in it.
Yeah. But you don't get to see all of it.
No, you sure don't.
But in the movie...
The thing that I really thought was smart about that scene is like when you're being haunted or when there's a demon or a monster, you hear like a door creak, you hear footsteps. She just heard the plopping sounds of his face falling on the floor, which is that's so perfectly representative of how at least how a lot of my intrusive thoughts work, which is like you remember this one specific like sensory thing.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not even the full memory necessarily. It's just this like one little thing. Like that is very effective.
Yep. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yep.
Oh, boy.
Oh, there was a part in the face. So before that, he bashes his face with a weight.
Yes.
That's what he does over and over to a point where you're like, he shouldn't still be physically able to bash his face, but he's still doing it. He's still going.
He's still doing it.
But something that I really appreciate in that moment, right after that occurs, is her reaction to it. It felt so fucking real. I was like, thank you. Real. Thank you for finally vomiting. Thank you for having an actual reaction to this. I thought that moment, that was probably the moment, like obviously seeing Joel was amazing, but like that was the moment that I feel like sold the movie for me when I was watching it. And I was like, oh, okay, we're on for a ride that's like believable.
Yes. At like, even though it's like crazy, outrageous, over the top, and we're in like the life of a pop star. Yeah. She's a person. Yeah. Like she's a fully formed person. And when she reacted to that, and even before the vomit, the way there were two notable things there where that stood out to me, where after Lewis is dead and he's laying on the ground, the camera, you see it from her perspective. And so we see the camera, she's like looking away, and then she sort of looks up and over at him, but like as though she's trying to watch a scary movie, like like through her eyelashes almost, like, can I see it? And the camera pans over, and as it approaches his face, it looks away really quickly.
Oh, like, yeah, that part was so good.
And even the way, like, when it first happens, she's just staring wide-eyed and motionless, and then she like crab walks backwards. She, like,
into the wall, herself. Gets up and vomits.
That's so believable, right? Yeah. Like you see something fucked up, and it takes you a minute to be like, what am I looking at? like it takes a second for you to react. Not that I've seen anything this fucked up, but like that's very believable.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The prosthetic makeup designer, whose name is Jeremy Selenfriend.
Oh, I like that name. Okay.
I do too. I wish I knew how to say it, but I like all those letters together.
Yeah.
I read a little bit of an interview with him, and somebody asked how he researched making the prosthetics for that. And he was like, I mean, you can't really find reference photos for that.
You probably don't want to look at reference photos for that either.
No.
I mean, you can imagine.
Well, he said that he referenced like boxing pictures when people were all fucked
gross,
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, gross. And then like just anatomy when the pieces of his face start coming off, because you really get in there. You get to see a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, I did watch the Jake Paul.
Oh, Mike Tyson?
Yeah, the fight before it, the ladies. The girl who she got her eyelid split open. Because the Irish girl had headbutted her.
And no, is that allowed?
No. There's some contention with how this went, because they have different rules. I don't know what they are, but they allowed it. And she just had a flap. It was just open and it was flapping, and they still fought like 5 more rounds after that. And
can we at least get some super glue up on that bitch?
No, I guess not. But what they do is they shove a giant Q-tip in it to take up all the blood, because you can't get blood in your eye, or it means like you can't fight anymore. So they shove a giant Q-tip in it, so you just watch an open. Anyway,
a Q-tip?
It is a giant Q-tip. I don't know what they're called. I'm sure that they have a different name. A P-tip. I don't know. What is it called?
Yeah, I don't know.
But it's
I don't know. That sounds terrible.
Fuzzy, and she got it. Like, she goes to her corner, she gets it shoved in there, and then she goes back out, and you hope it doesn't bleed anymore.
Yo, I'm tapping out.
It was a very intense fight.
Yikes!
But that's what I thought about that. Whenever he said that he's referenced boxing photos, I was like, God, that moment as I was watching her, I was like, oh God,
eye stuff, man, nose stuff. Oh boy,
stuff. Anything with the face. If we can just avoid the face at all, that would be good.
What is the deal that is in so many movies right now? I feel like
because it's uncomfortable. It's unsettling, and it makes people feel really gross.
But like, it's always been uncomfortable. Why now? Why face fuck up now?
Because we have to push the envelope. Please don't.
Is there some sort of relationship to us covering our faces for so long because of COVID?
Ooh, that's interesting. I didn't even think about that.
Now we're like, let's take those masks off. And also the flesh.
The flesh, yeah.
More.
There's nothing there. There was never anything there to begin with.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
I don't know.
But I have a question. So, like,
yeah,
we say we have a feeling about never showing the monster. Obviously, we have feelings about the monster, which is, we'll talk about. It's at the end of this film. But
we are going to have to talk about it.
Does the monster also count as the smiler? So, like, him as well? As Lewis behind her?
I don't think so.
Her?
No, because our problem with the smiler... Oh, I see what you're asking now.
Yeah, is that the monster? Are we like, man, they showed the monster a lot in this movie. And you know what? It was incredibly effective.
I think that, this is a really good point. So I do think that this is okay, and I liked it.
I agree.
And so I'm trying to understand like what the difference is. And I think it comes down to that it isn't a cartoon.
I think that if it were the specific monster that occurs at the end of both the first and this film, it would have been bad. Yeah. I think that making the representation different every time that you see it gives So it is showing the monster, but the monster is very not a chameleon. That's not the word I want to use.
It sort of is, though.
But the word I want to use is, I don't know. We talked about how our words were not wording before this, and my words are going to unword.
So, not a chameleon, but characterization, a manifestation.
A facade? I don't, but I guess it would be a facade. Like you have, you're this thing the entire time. It's like, I don't know. I'm thinking of The Good Place whenever you have a meat suit and you're in your meat suit, but like you could have different meat suits.
Oh, it's like like an avatar.
Yeah, like something like that.
Yeah. You know what? Oh boy. Okay. So every time she sees him, it's in her head. So it's not really that the monster is there in the room. It's that it's in her noggin. And this makes me think of an idea that I find really compelling about a lot of paranormal activity. For example, UAPs, which is that, maybe there's something there, but we see it through the lens of our experience.
Yeah.
Which is why sometimes people see a flying saucer or a sphere versus a cube. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know.
Just mental perception, different mental perception.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it's like a skin. You apply it, but it looks different to everybody, but it's like the core is still the same. I don't know. That's interesting. Which I don't know, man. That's part of why this movie is so scary.
Because it's all monster. Like, this is the movie that has shown, I think, probably the monster the most.
Yeah.
Out of any movie we've probably ever talked about. Because the monster is there constantly.
I just remembered something else that I thought was really funny about Lewis's apartment. So, in his apartment, he had like a framed photo by his bedroom door, not a photo, like a print of the White Rabbit, like lyrics from the White Rabbit, Jefferson Airplane, which is a song about Alice in Wonderland, which features the smiling Cheshire Cat.
Oh, that's
I just thought that was funny. I was like, I'm like laughing in the back of the theater as this man is demolishing his own face. You're welcome to everybody. Oh God. I don't even know. I feel like we've where to go from here.
Yeah, the thing is we don't want to like just talk about the plot, I guess. I want to talk about how much I love Naomi Scott and everything that she did in this movie. She has made a fan for life. Like,
yes.
I want to see her in every movie. Like,
Agreed.
Will follow everything she does from here on out. And I hope that her career is just like skyrockets from this.
Yeah.
Her range, her ability to react in a way that is so believable to everything, and her ability to be afraid all the time.
There were literally, like, one of my notes is like, I am a little bit worried about this actress and what she's been through, because her relationship to trauma and like grinning and bearing it is like a little too real. Like, is she okay? Like,
that's a good question.
I'm worried about her. And I watched a couple interviews with the director, and people asked that question. Like, were there times when you had to like stop and give her a breather? And he was like, no, there were times that we would cut and she would whiplash out of this really intense scene and crack a joke. Like,
sounds great. Love her.
She sounds wonderful.
But
I also want to congratulate her on her American accent.
Yeah,
because I usually clock a fake American accent from a mile away. Did not with her. Like, holy shit. Great job.
I've also been listening to all of the songs pretty consistently. Anytime Brian's like, what do you want to listen to? And I was like, doctor, I need a new brain.
Yeah.
And he's like, what? And I'm like, you know what song I'm talking about. You know exactly what I want to listen to.
Put it on.
And then it has a weird part in the middle of it where I think that they edited it from the movie where it like skips a little bit. And I'm like, damn it. I want her to have released a full album as Sky Riley because
we just got they were bops. Songs. They fucking slapped, bops. Dude.
Yeah, I was like, these are great. I am a big fan of Sky Riley and Naomi Scott both.
Yeah, same.
Separately and together. So,
and you know what? So a couple of the songs were written before she was cast. And then a couple of them she helped co-write.
Good.
Like she sings. I guess she played Jasmine in the live action.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
So she's known to sing. She did all of the dancing herself, all of the choreography herself. I guess she helped write the songs. She plays the piano. Like Jesus Christ,
impressive.
Dude. So impressive.
She was completely believable as a gigantic pop star. Like there was no question in it, and to the point where I was like, even with the songs, I was like, yeah, this is kind of better than some of the music that I hear on the regular. So I mean, sometimes I like manufactured songs, I guess, but damn, it was good. And then like even the song from her perspective when she was playing on the piano, I was like, oh, because this is based on the trouble that she went through and how she lost everyone and how everything's terrible.
I know.
It was so good.
So good. And even that scene, the like dance rehearsal scene where they're, rehearsing the dance, as you might expect at a dance rehearsal.
Crazy.
When that scene ended, I was like, oh, right. I forgot. I was watching a larger movie. I was like really enjoying this.
You were like, this was a good song. If you could just finish the dance scene. I thought
I would like to see.
There was something I read that said that they were advertising it as, not advertising, there was something. They were promoting it as the origins of Just Dance.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, what?
I mean,
all right.
Go for it. Oh, God. Highly recommend. Highly recommend. Even the behind the scenes videos.
I have not seen those. I do need to watch those. I would not be shocked. They all seem, everything about this movie seems, I don't know. There's just like, I have nothing bad to say about it, and I want to critique it, and I want to say something it could do better, but I'm at a loss, if I'm being honest.
I've got one thing.
Okay, I'm in.
We'll
is it Jack Nicholson's face? No, Baby Nicholson.
Maybe I've got two things.
Sorry, Baby Nicholson.
I guess, is it just Uncanny Valley? Does he just look too much like Jack Nicholson, but also not enough like Jack Nicholson?
It was, I don't know. But for like, this is the problem that I had, and this is going to make me, I already admitted to a TV show that I watched for a long time, not understanding a joke.
Oh, is this that one about God? What was it? What was that TV show that you were always watching? That was
The Good
whatever.
Place?
It doesn't matter. What's your point? No, not The Good Place.
Wait, Joan of Arcadia?
No.
I was talking about Veronica Mars and a callback to earlier in this episode.
Yes.
Was there another show I watched about God? Oh, yeah. God friended me. I remember that. I haven't talked about that in a long time. Damn.
I know. I just, I'm sorry that I brought it up. I don't know why I thought about it. What were you going to say?
I forgot that we lost that show.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Now I'm going to have to go think about that. I've already lost what I was going to say now.
Oh, damn. Sorry. We were talking about good. Baby Nicholson's face.
We were, and then I was saying that nope. It's gone. It left.
Damn it. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Now I want to watch Godfriend instead. So that's fine. I was talking about jokes that I don't get. And that's how.
Oh.
And I was like, maybe this is a joke that I don't get. And it had Jack Nicholson's face. Oh, no. Okay. No, I was just going to talk about how I might sound stupid when I say this. There were like, when he came up, he shows up periodically in the movie, and he's usually showing up with a smile on his face, specifically a scene in which she's supposed to give a speech about like, I don't know, children or people learning music, and it's supposed to be like a charity thing. And honestly, when he showed up, didn't know it was him. Didn't know. Had no idea.
No, I didn't.
I thought it was a random ass dude, and I was like, random ass dude smiling, showing up. Okay.
Same. It wasn't
second time around I got it, but
yeah. Well, once he was up on the stage, I was like, oh, it's the guy. It's the guy. Mm-hmm. It's the guy. But yeah, we like see him in the audience first. He's just sitting at a table while she's up on the stage. This is like a gala. Yeah. And so everybody's in like dressed up and him as well. And he's like looking over his shoulder, like his back is to the stage. He's looking over his shoulder, smiling at him. Did not clock that the first time I went. Like I didn't see anybody smiling.
Yeah, just a dude in the crowd. Just a dude in the crowd.
I was like, I guess she saw something scary.
But it just feels
I can guess it was somebody smiling, but I didn't.
Does he have resting smile face?
Maybe. Or maybe everybody in the audience had resting smile face. Oh, so I couldn't differentiate him.
Everyone was smiling. But then it feels like they should be because it's supposed to be in that type of...
Yeah.
I don't know. That was a great moment though, that scene where she goes
once he was like standing in the audience and smiling and he's in that white jacket, they must have done this on purpose. That was very The Shining.
Oh, like, for sure. They did do that to call back to it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, how could you not when you've got a Jack Nicholson face on set?
Yeah, for sure. The most famous horror smile that there is.
Yeah. But even the costume in that scene, it made me think of at the end of The Shining. I'm going to spoil The Shining.
Shit. Oh, no. You guys turn off the podcast.
Yeah, sorry. When we see an old photo of the Overlook and we see Jack Nicholson in a
white tux. He's just looking all classy.
Yeah, I guess so.
Looking like baby Nicholson.
Looking like baby Nicholson.
Yeah. Well, what age was he then? Were they the same age?
It's hard to know because people age so differently these days.
They do. It's weird.
Like, Jack Nicholson could have been 17, 18.
He could have, honestly. The parts in this movie, there were definitely parts in this movie that had me... scary parts were at like a 10. Like, we already know that Smile does scary moments so well and jumps so well. That it's like...
And we don't like jumps.
No.
Like, cheap jumps are cheap. This does a good job.
Yeah. And the first, like, really intense scary moment was the guy she had seen earlier in that day.
Alfredo.
Yeah. Was that his name?
Yeah, I think so.
And then he ended up being in her apartment naked.
Yeah.
And runs at her. And I was like, this is the scariest thing.
This is a nightmare. This is a nightmare. This is a nightmare.
She realizes that none of it happened. And that moment, like, just like the first Smile, that was like having that. That's why the Smile movies are so gut-wrenching. Is because, like, you're having these things happen to you. They are happening. But no one will believe you. They are, quote unquote, not real. But they are very real. And it's just like... I feel like that is the crux of both the movies. The crux of Smile is just like having these, just being crazy. Like being like, these things are happening, but no one will believe you.
Needing a new brain.
Yeah. Doctor.
Doctor. Yeah, I mean, the thing we have to talk about, I think, is... exactly that, like the question between what is real, what actually happened, and what was in her head.
Yeah.
Like the whole back, I guess is the third act. The whole third act is like off the rails.
Yeah.
And very little of it actually happened.
Yes. So then I was trying to determine when that happened, when the switchover happened, and I think I figured it out.
Oh, I feel very confident.
Okay, are we?
Where do you think?
The hands in the mouth?
Yeah, hand in the mouth.
Okay. But then the other part happened before that, and you're like, the existence of this thing the entire time was...
Wait, the other thing?
The other thing that happened pretty early on.
Which, could you be more specific?
So right after you guys should have watched the movie. Her friend,
Gemma.
from early on, that was pretty consistent from really early on.
Yeah, I think that.
But I think her meeting the guy and the guy being like, this shit is this shit, I think that was real.
I think so too.
Yes.
I think that part was real.
Yes.
And I think that shit pops off after that.
Yes.
Because the Smiler is like, oh, fuck, he's on to me.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, we have to accelerate some things. We were going to chill and we were going to enjoy this trauma a little bit longer. But we're just going to have to take over and do some other shit. But we're going to fuck with her in the meantime. It's
Clock's
fine.
ticking. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely stuff in the beginning. You're totally right. That doesn't.
Question.
Yeah.
I'm having this realization right now. So, we find out in the third act, Gemma, never real. Gemma was not. But was she actually real? And was she just not real in the third act?
I don't think that she... that's a good question.
Yeah, because none of the third act is real. None of it. Until she makes it on stage. So even her getting in the car and getting the phone call is all in her head.
Yeah, it's all in her head. I don't think that Gemma was ever actually there. Like, even the phone call.
The only reason I would say that maybe she was is because she did say hi to the mom when she came in.
But the mom didn't say hi back.
She didn't say hi back, I know. But why would she make the effort to say hello? I mean, maybe just so Sky doesn't question anything. But I don't know. I was hoping that, not until this moment that we had talked about it, did I consider that as a possibility. Because the third act, none of it was real, including the phone call.
And the phone call is like, why are you texting me?
Yeah. Why have you been texting me weird shit this entire time? Which, that would be a good way to terrorize someone.
God, you're right.
So she could have had a friend the entire time, and having that friend may have helped her get out of it, but because it would lead her down, because it would have Joel'd her, but Joel didn't really win. So
No. He could have.
But I think having help is like the antithesis that what can destroy or what can lead someone away from. Yeah, I didn't think about it literally until just now.
I am now remembering, I know that I've brought this up on the show before and I have refused to say the title of the show because it is a huge spoiler. And so I'm going to do it again. But there is a TV show that I loved and they made an American version and it sucked ass. So that's not what I'm talking about. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, it's not the American version.
Okay.
There's a show that I loved so much. And the way that it ends is upsetting because they're fighting a villain through the whole season. And they defeat him and say they get trapped in this he's smiling them. He's made a false reality around them. And in that false reality, he separates each of these people who are so tight-knit. And so they're each alone in their own separate reality.
Okay.
And they end up defeating him because they're like, you separated us. If you've kept us together, we never would have known. And then the season ends with them happily in their apartment watching TV, but it shows a little thing that indicates that they got.
Oh, no.
So that's what that made me think of. But yeah, I thought that Morris was real. So Morris is the guy who shows up. He somehow gets Sky Riley's phone number. Not somehow. He gets it off of Louis Frigoli's phone. He gets her phone number and is texting her. Not directly enough, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would have been we need to do this ASAP. We need to do this yesterday. Hey, are you experiencing weird stuff? And then wait until she's yes, I definitely am. First time. That's when you have that meeting. And then you just kill her.
So that's what I thought was going to happen. Then you just kill her. So, okay. Which, that's a question. What happens then? So.
Good question. Oh,
the first
movie.
time I watched this. Third movie. So, okay. So he finally gets in touch with her. His brother got.
Yeah.
And so he has figured out enough about the Smiler. He is now trying to help people. And his idea is we have to kill you before it kills you. And so I'm an EMT. We'll stop your heart. We get a whole flatliner sequence. It's a delight. And the first time I watched it, obviously I didn't realize that the third act was all a dream until the end. Yeah. And so the second time through, and so the first time I was like, oh, he's going to lock her in that freezer.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Whenever he talked about how you have to have the thing in front of the door. And I was like, this does not feel...
This is not good.
Yeah.
Girl, you in danger. Like, get out of there.
Yeah. But I was like, genius, because then nothing can see it.
Right.
Such a smart way.
God.
He was so smart.
He was so smart. Yeah, man. I don't know. I feel like this is one that when we watch it a third time, we'll pick up on additional things.
I think so. And we will watch it a third time.
Yeah. And it's long, right? This was 2.5, maybe?
Something like that. But I also feel like it has like a... Because to your point, you were like, I watched it one time and I was like, this was pretty good. And then the second time I was like, this is great. That's how I felt.
Well, I even loved it the first time. I just forgot.
The more that I watch it, I love it even more. And I appreciate more about it. But the first time I watched it, I got in late. I was having a really bad day. And I remember being like, I'm going to go fucking watch Smile 2 because I'm having a bad day.
Yeah.
And
it's going to go make me smile.
So I go, and then I left the movie, and it was like starting to get dark. And then I went home to my empty house, and then I just like, I was like, I feel really fucking weird. I just feel really fucking weird. I feel super weird. And it was a day that Ryan was working really late. So I was just like, I'm just going to feel weird for like 5 hours. And I'm just going to feel weird. And I'm going to go to bed, and I'm going to wake up okay. But I'm going to feel weird. And that movie made me feel really fucking weird for a couple hours after it.
Which is dope. Yeah. Movies don't have that effect.
It's so good. There was another movie I watched recently that had that effect on me.
Is it one of the ones that I meant to watch?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know if it's a good... I still feel... I can't stop thinking about it, but in a bad way.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. I like getting obsessed with things.
Okay. Good.
I'm upset because I think I know which movie it is, and that's disappointing. But whatever. How did you feel about the that scene in the freezer?
Okay. So something that that was uncomfortable, first of all. Second of all, like, I cannot believe she was both. And they are so different.
They're so different.
And it's so extreme to the point where I was like you just like, you follow this character and you feel for her. And then she does have a version of herself prior to her being this like new version of herself that is so much worse. And having them both in that room, and one of them is like obviously evil, but still the fact that she could play that is like, that scene just like, I can't, like, my brain can't wrap around it because it is over the top, and it is like, I'm just imagining the part where she's like on the table and there's blood dripping, and then she looks up and it's just her screaming at her. And just screaming, just crying and screaming. And she's going to unbuckle her seatbelt and drop onto her. And that is just like the most tense, disgusting, upsetting moment in...
So upsetting.
Yeah.
And not just like... Oh, God. If you haven't seen the movie yet...
Why the fuck are you listening to us?
Why are you listening to us? But if you haven't... Yeah, thank you so much. Oh, my God. But if you haven't yet, we've sort of danced around it. But yeah, this older version of herself at like the height of her addiction, when she almost ruined her life, and in a lot of ways did ruin her life.
Sure. Well, yeah.
Yeah. That older version of her is who she's confronting in this not final scene, but like the final direct fight.
Yeah.
With the Smiler, and which is a little heavy-handed when you think about it thematically. Like, you're literally facing your demons.
Yeah.
Like, that's a little... But it doesn't feel that way when you're in the movie. Like, it just feels like...
You're facing a demon.
A demon.
Yeah.
But the thing that we've avoided is that the reason that they got into that car accident and her then boyfriend, who was an asshole, died was because she grabbed the steering wheel and tried to run them into opposing traffic. And when he tried to correct that, they careened off the side of... Where is that supposed to be? Like the Hollywood Hills?
Yeah, I assumed Hollywood Hills.
No, I guess they're in New York.
Oh, I thought they were in Hollywood. They are in New York. Were they in Hollywood,
they were in Hollywood at that time?
Yeah, and she moved to New York.
Maybe. Windy road.
Yeah.
And in that car accident, she her leg is broken and her stomach's all fucked up and he dies. And I mentioned the leg breaking because that comes up over and over again in this movie. And it was really upsetting to me.
Yep.
Especially in this scene when she's walking on her fucked up leg.
Yep.
But this was also to help. Maybe you could help me.
Yeah.
Put my finger on this.
Okay.
This scene specifically felt very J-horror. And I think it had to do with the way her
it was
eyes
very blue.
Looked. Very blue.
Very blue.
Yeah.
And she had long dark brown hair. Like her hair was very dark, very messy. Everything was very blue.
I think it was something to do with the eyes.
She had a bunch of eye makeup all around.
But it was the way the eye...
Like she was brighter? Her eyes were...
There were little pinpricks of light in her eyes.
Oh.
Little tiny pinpricks. That is very uncanny.
Yeah.
That was very off-putting. And that felt very J-horror to me. But maybe I'm conflating. Maybe you're right. Maybe it is just blue and dark
that
hair.
could also be it. I think it could be everything. Definitely there are a bunch of parts in this movie that are nods to other horror.
Yes.
So this could have been just a nod to that.
Yeah, I wonder.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't even think about that until you said that. But I can
There's also
see
Flatliners.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Suspiria with the dancers specifically in the hallway, the way they're all on top of each other.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. Which we didn't even talk about that. That scene was so unnerving. Shit. Oh boy, that's alarming. Yeah. And so well choreographed.
Yeah. I was like, well, I get that she needs to run, but you can't. What are you do?
What are you gonna do?
I was like, I appreciate that she's trying, but there's really no winning in this situation.
There's no winning. No. But I love that fight in her. I love that tenacity.
Yep.
I love it. I love everything about it. I love everything about her performance.
Yep.
And that character.
Oh, yeah.
So I do want to talk about how much of this is practical effects.
Yeah.
Which is something that we loved in the first one.
Yes.
And we carried it through into this one.
Good.
Especially the prosthetics. We've talked about Louis Fergoli's face being all fucked up. And, oh my God, the prosthetics supervisor, Jeremy
Friend.
My apologies, Jeremy.
I said it backwards.
I should have looked
I said
it
friendly
up.
send, but that's not
That's
right.
close.
It's the other way, but thank you. It's as if I was... What's that one where you get words? Dyslexic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, guess where we know him from?
Nope.
The television show Evil.
Oh, yay! Have we talked about... Did he do the first one, too? Did we talk about this last time?
Oh, God, did we? And I just completely forgot.
Or were you not into Evil yet? Because there was an entire...
I might not have been into Evil.
For a year, I was like, Kelly, you gotta watch Evil.
And then I did, and I watched it 3 times in a row. And now every day I check if the new season is on Netflix yet.
Yep.
He also described... Okay, so when... Sky's mom jabs her eye out.
Yes.
That was a practical effect.
Wow, that's really good.
That's really good.
Like, I did not know that was a practical effect. Gross. Oh my God.
I'm sure that it was like augmented.
Yeah. It definitely had to have some CGI in it, right? Something.
Right, yeah. But the way, what they used was a peeled lychee.
Oh, okay.
And like the fat from prosciutto to do the like ligament back into the eye socket.
Interesting. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, he was like, we had to get creative, and then we had a snack.
I love it. 10 out of 10.
Love that.
Getting fancy with the snacks.
Yeah.
You only see those on premium charcuterie.
Caro syrup, I guess. Blood?
Wow. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, blood. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I thought it was just clear Caro, and I was like, okay.
Oh.
I was like, well, that's all right. You do.
Okay, gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the SFX supervisor is named. Y'all, you've got to help me out with these names.
I can't help. I can't. Somebody else might be able to.
Kuntz. Johann Kuntz? Johann Kuntz?
I would say Kuntz.
Yeah, it's probably Kuntz. Kunz. He also worked on Bodies, Bodies, Bodies.
Oh, God. What a wonderful movie.
Right?
Love that movie.
And the effects studio that created the Smiler at the end of the movie is the same one who worked on the first one, I believe.
Okay.
It is Alec Gillis's studio. He worked on Alien Romulus and also...
Which was amazing.
Earlier Aliens, right? Like, he said that the Smiler at the end of this one is the largest creature he's created since the Alien Queen.
Oh.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah. That and the monster at the end was very impressive. And how it came about was very gross. I was very impressed. 10 out of 10.
Okay. Tell me your thoughts on this take.
Okay.
The body horror in this movie was more upsetting to me than the body horror in The Substance.
Oh, yeah, right? Wait. Except for the boob baby. That one, every time. I don't know why. The birth of the boob baby.
Yeah. No, that's delightful to me. But is that body horror?
But that's
too?
The Caro syrup that doesn't have coloring. I want the coloring. I'm okay with blood. I am not okay with clear. I don't like clear liquids. I like it. I would rather have it bloody than clear. That's the part. That's what gets me.
But there's so much blood at the end of The Substance.
I think in terms of... Yeah, that was beautiful. I think in terms of like how uncomfortable it made my body, this movie wins 10 out of 10.
That's what I mean.
Like my leg hurt multiple times in that. Ripping open your insides, crushing your face. Yeah, the body horror in this, like my body hurt while I watched this.
Yeah.
The
like
Substance, my body only hurt like twice. And then the boob birth didn't hurt me. It just made me feel very like I had to rethink a lot of what I expected of the world and what I thought people could think of and what I thought was humanly possible for a person to visualize. And that
it was very
was new to me. And I remember whenever we left, we were in awe because I was just like, I didn't think people could think that. I didn't think anyone... That was like a wholly new experience. This movie, though gross, does not feel like a completely new experience.
No.
So the pain that I feel is pain that I have felt in similar movies. So I don't want to be like... There is a lot of novelty in this movie that I feel like in the way that it has written the story and like how it has... taken what was in Smile and basically elevated it to a way higher level. But in terms of like the body horror, it felt like things I've seen before. Like, so that didn't shock me. Substance was stuff that I have never fucking seen before and I never thought I would see. So I think that's the difference between the two.
I totally agree. I just mean like this one made me squeamish.
Yeah.
Whereas The Substance is disorientation.
Yeah, it's so confusing. It's so fucking confusing.
What am I seeing?
I was like, why is this happening?
What am I looking at?
Oh my God. And then you're like, okay. Oh, am I okay with it? Should I talk to my therapist about this?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's one of the things that I'm like, should I write this down for therapy? Like,
Right.
I think it's okay that I feel weird about this. I think I should feel weird about it.
Yeah, I think so.
But for a Smile, I was like, I feel normal about it. So, like, that's the good thing about it is that, like, and I appreciate that about Smile. I appreciate that about some horror movies is that you're not going to weird me out. You're not going to You're not going to weird me out. You're just going to make it hurt. That sounds worse.
God, the sounds, dude.
Yeah, the sounds were pretty bad. That's why I told you, like, when I watched it the first time and the second time I closed my eyes, and then I was like, ugh. Yeah. I was like, am I imagining it worse? And then I had to keep being like, am I?
I don't know. It's pretty bad.
Yeah. And that's like a never show the monster thing, I guess, is whenever I was like, oh, that was bad when I watched it the first time. And then hearing it and closing my eyes, I was like, am I making it worse or is it really that bad? When I opened my eyes, I was like, it is pretty bad.
That's a great point, though. Like, that's a perfect example of how, like, hinting at the monster fucks you up.
Yeah, it does.
Because it brings it inside you.
Yeah.
Right? Like, when you see it.
It makes it your interpretation. And that's the entire Smile monster. It's your interpretation of what you put.
God, we fucking did it.
Yeah, we did it. We did it. Oh, God.
Oh.
Shit, I love this
Thanks for tuning in. That's our last episode.
I did love this movie, though.
God, me too. Okay, so before we know that Gemma was never real.
Yes.
And she comes over to Sky's house while Sky is running away from Alfredo.
Yeah.
And Sky is like, shh, 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 and she grabs the thing, like a vase or something, to like try and hunt down Alfredo in her apartment. Yeah. And Gemma is like, what the fuck are we doing? And before she knows anything, she just grabs a thing.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, love her. 10 out of 10.
I was like, hell yeah. Friend. BFF.
Yeah.
God, she really is a ride or die.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
That moment in the movie, though, when that happened, when that phone call happened, I feel like I've never been more betrayed or upset in a movie that I was like, no!
I know!
She only had Gemma!
She only had Gemma! Which, I wonder if we had rewatched the first movie more recently, if we would have detected that, because it immediately made me think of The Therapist. So we did the same thing with The Therapist in the first movie.
I did just watch up until she was in the house. So I watched up until she was in the house. In the first movie, she wakes up from it like it's a normal dream. So it doesn't seem like it has taken control and taken the entire rest of the movie. Yeah. It's just in that moment, she goes in to kill the patient to try to pass it on. And then the therapist watches her. And then he rips off his own face. Sorry, spoilers. And then she's like, fuck. And then she wakes up. But she's like in her car and she just wakes up. So that's
more of the like lost time that we see in this one.
I was like, maybe she was just having like, she's going crazy. So she's like sleeping, waking up, which could have been this one. But goddamn, that was a very long time to not just none of it be real.
No, I think the first 2 acts are real.
I agree. But like in Smile, it was just a very short portion of her going in and trying to.
Was it? Should I watch it again?
Yeah. I'm going to say yes. I enjoyed it. I was watching. It's on Hulu. It's for freezies if you have Hulu. That's not free. That's not free.
I just canceled my Hulu.
I'm sure that they'll lock down on that. I just try to. Never mind. We won't get into that.
Whatever. It's fine. It's fine.
We're all canceling streaming services. Shudder is still constant just because I want to continue to fund Shudder, even if I don't watch anything. But that's the only one that I will continue on, regardless of if I watch anything on it. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, it was a small portion because she found out from the guy that she needs to go do that, and then she goes and she decides she's going to go. She goes and she parks, and as she's thinking about it, that's when she falls asleep and then gets up, wakes up, and is like, "I didn't fucking do it. I'm just going to go hide."
Yeah.
And I was like, that was a good idea. I mean,
yeah, I think Hyde.
Joel didn't fucking show up.
Fucking Joel.
Would it just hang on for a couple days until someone showed up?
I don't know. Like, does the body wither and die?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I wonder. I don't know if there will be a third one, but I didn't think that they could do much after the first one.
I think I saw today that
greenlit for the third
2025.
Oh my God. Thank God. I'm so happy. That makes me so happy. I'm so happy you said that. This is a live reaction. Like, I did not think that they could do that movie better because it was such a surprising, such a good movie. And I am so fucking impressed with this movie. And I have no idea where they could take a number 3. Like, I have theories, but I don't know. And like, especially the end, right? Like how that would impact, like what could happen after that? What could even fucking happen? Does it have to only hit people that have trauma? Doesn't everybody have trauma?
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either. Or does it just happen to one person because it could only pass to one person? I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Or would it be like, would we do a similar thing to A Quiet Place where we either like go back in time and do earlier stories, or we still just focus in on like one person who was at that show, or like I think that
they created a good lore that you could do a prequel.
Yeah,
you've met a lot of the before people.
We can go anywhere. Oh, and you know what? I haven't been able to find it, but he did a short movie before Smile that Smile was based on.
Was it inspired? Yeah.
It's called Laura Hasn't Slept. And I've only been able to find like screenshots from it or people reacting to it. I haven't been able to find it. And I know that it features Laura going to her therapist and talking about this recurring dream of the Smiler.
Okay.
And that actress is the woman who dies and passes it to Kevin Bacon's daughter in the first Smile.
She's really good. I was looking at her IMDb today because I was like, oh, I like this girl and she did very well. And what I watched earlier, she was very scared.
Yeah, so I like that. I like that that this director is like keeping it all in universe, but making it very discrete stories.
Are they giving him even more money?
Oh, I would
give him so much money. Give him all the money.
Yeah, dog.
All of it.
Do it.
Every money. Those are the people that should get money. People who create art. This is art.
Agreed. Oh, and that's something that people were saying from set is that he has a very clear vision and like isn't afraid to go over the top. He was talking about how he casts, and he's like, I'm just a huge fan of like really big performances. And I was like, well, you fucking found him because Naomi Scott
fucking perfect.
This. Louis Fergoli crushed it. Like he's not even in the movie a ton, and that is a standout performance.
Yeah. Kyle Gallner.
He does the Smile, obviously. Kyle Gallner.
This is actually just a Kyle Gallner fan podcast. Sorry,
fancast. Oh, we love him to death. What do you do? What do you do if you wake up on stage in your little chrysalis and your little butterfly costume to discover
that everything's a lie?
That is bad.
I don't know, because I don't know what you're capable of even doing in that moment, because we've found out that no matter how hard you fight it, you're not going to win.
Yeah. Which I think is how it wins, right? It just beats you down.
Yeah. If I notice that, like, could she have run away?
I think I'd at least try to run off stage.
Yeah.
I'd at least try. Go backstage.
Go back into the chrysalis.
Go back into the chrysalis.
Yeah. Be like, I don't need to be reborn. Take me back.
Yeah, no.
I got more stuff to do.
Again.
Leave me in here for like 2 days. Give me some water. I'll be fine. She's got enough water in her body. She'll be fine.
God.
Too much
water. The actress actually drank that water.
Cannot be healthy.
I know. I was like, she's going to get water poisoning. How many takes did y'all do?
So quick. She drank it.
How did she do it? So fast. She just like opens her throat and
the entire Voss bottle.
She's not drinking it so much as pouring it.
Yeah.
How?
Good.
How do
her commitment? Damn.
God, is there anything she can't do?
I don't think so. Like, I don't know how she's
sing,
not
dance, drink water.
How is she not a famous pop star right now? Right? She came from. Ryan was like, "Oh, she was in Lemonade Mouth," and I was like, "I have no fucking clue what that is." But it was like a thing on Nickelodeon. Like Ariana Grande got famous, right? Miley Cyrus got famous.
Well, damn.
Why isn't Naomi Scott super famous? Why isn't she the most famous?
We'll get her there.
Yeah.
We're going to get her there.
Okay.
This is also a Naomi Scott fan cast.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I think I'd try to run off stage.
Yeah, just do something.
I know that it wouldn't work, but I would try. Maybe? I don't know. I'm very tired.
Yeah, that's fair. I at that point, she was also very tired. She also thought she just injected herself with something that was going to kill her.
I know.
And I assumed she didn't think she was going to wake up again.
Yeah, she was really like, I got to trust this Morris guy a lot.
I definitely thought whenever that happened, I was like, oh no, maybe she injected herself with the adrenaline. And she's going to have the opposite feeling. But she was like, you never really did it. And I was like, damn.
God damn it. I did like that she bit off her thumbs.
Yeah, that was pretty good. But it doesn't matter. It's not even real. That's the false hope that it gives you. It's the worst. It is the most terrifying monster. I think the smile monster is probably the most terrifying monster.
I agree.
Because it destroys you. It destroys you from the inside.
I also, leaving this movie, I a little bit was like, I have pretty bad intrusive thoughts. Would I notice a smile situation?
If people around you started smiling.
Yeah.
It was impressive, though, with Naomi Scott, or not Naomi Scott, Sky Riley, how she would be at a signing and be like, this is uncomfortable, but this is fine.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I would immediately be like, I'm unsettled. Get the fuck away from me.
Yeah, I mean, would you, though? You're a famous pop star and this little kid wants... You can't, especially when you're trying to revamp your career, you can't be turning little kids away.
And it wasn't a crowd, so it's less scary when you're in a crowd, I guess. That's
so.
That is also a scary thing about this movie, is it gets you no matter where you are. And that's always something that whenever movies are like, oh, it doesn't matter if you're like in a diner in the middle of the night, they're going to get you.
Yeah, they're going to get you.
Anyway, any other thoughts?
Yeah, I had one and I lost it. It was too slippery.
It'll come back.
Oh, my critique.
You got it?
I have one critique. Yeah. I have one critique of the movie. This ending monster. Not as good as the ending monster of the first one.
I can agree with that.
I think that this one looks comical.
I would like to rewatch. I didn't get to finish it, but I would like to rewatch But I agree. There was like some sense that reminded me of the end of It with this one. I can't remember what part it was, but like, you know how in It they have like the death lights in the mouth and the things? I felt like this was kind of similar.
Yeah. Do you think that they could be the same type of entity?
Oh.
They crave fear.
Oh my God.
Fear.
And they make stuff. You see stuff.
Yeah.
That's not really there. And that's what they all saw.
Oh my God, is this an It franchise?
God.
Oh my God.
So sorry, Flynn. Parker Flynn.
Is
it Flynn or Finn? Parker?
It's just Finn.
Okay, Parker Finn. So sorry, Parker Finn. We found you out. But please make another movie. We're so looking forward to it.
Yeah,
my God. We loved it so much. Oh, that was so good. And I will watch it again. I will watch it so many times.
Agreed.
I can't, I don't want to be like, I went in not expecting much. And I've watched so many fucking horror movies in the last like month. 2 months. We haven't recorded in so long. But God,
in a minute, yeah.
Smile 2 was shockingly, this is in my top of the year of maybe all time. Like, it was such a good movie.
And I really love our main character.
So
like,
much.
I just like spending time with her.
Yeah.
Even though she's, maudlin and very like, she's got main character syndrome.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But in a really endearing way.
Sure. Yeah.
And she's trying.
She is. And she's gone through it. She's gone through it.
She's gone through it.
She's trying to get through it, but it ain't letting.
It's R.I.P.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, that's my one critique, really, is just that the monster didn't look as good in this. It looked more, it was clearly less practical.
Yeah. It's still good.
It's still good.
The critique is that it's not as good as the first one, but it's still better than a lot of monsters.
It's still better than a lot of monsters. Yeah. I remembered what my slippery thought was. Ooh. And it is twofold. They both relate to the cleansing hour, which is that we get a very similar transition to the monster in this one that we got from the burn victim turned devil at the end of the cleansing hour. Do you remember when he like flips up like a toy?
Oh, yeah.
We get a little bit of that here. This looks better.
Yeah, it does. Oh God, what a movie. Thought. You know what? That's my top movie of the year. What am I talking about?
My slippery thought was we've watched a couple movies now with a demon entity gunning for infecting a bunch of people.
Uh-huh.
So we watched this.
Okay.
Cleansing Hour.
Yes. Truth or Dare.
Truth or Dare, thank you. And then I watched Thorns.
Oh God. Okay. I did not watch Thorns.
No. I need somebody else to watch it so that I know it's real.
Is it available? Does Just Watch have it?
I don't know.
They're like, this isn't real. We're not going to contain it on our platform.
Just shadow banning it?
Oh my God. No, it does exist, but there are no streaming services. Notify me when it's available. I'm so sorry. I'm not going to say notify me.
I asked it to notify me.
I'm going to be real with you. I've told it to notify me on multiple things, and it does not notify me on shit.
No, I agree.
I signed up for an account just for it to notify me.
Same. I had one for lists, too, and those didn't work. But, they got money. They have advertisers now, so maybe it works now.
Let's hope.
Okay, do we have any more thoughts on Smile 2?
Just watch it. Just watch the shit out of it.
God, it's
I don't know. And I feel like even if I hype people, this is a movie where I feel like even if I hype people up, they're not going to be let down. Because I went in so hyped. Yeah. And I don't know. I was so impressed. And watch it multiple times because it gets better every time. God,
so good. Yeah. Okay, we loved this one. 2024 has had a lot of really good movies. And so next week we will talk about...
Yeah, Longlegs came out this
I know, right?
Look at me.
Late Night with the Devil.
God damn it.
I know.
Okay, we're going to have a pretty contentious year. Oh, God, okay. It's a great year. It doesn't suck. It's beautiful. I want every year to be this wonderful. This scary. This spooky. What's the Kendrick Lamar song? Scary, spooky, something hilarious.
Crazy, scary, spooky, hilarious. Crazy, scary.
That's our
spooky,
new
hilarious.
Catchphrase.
Okay, so we will be back in 2 weeks to talk about Oddity.
Hey.
I can't wait. I'm so excited. And in the meantime, if you miss us, you can find us over on our other podcast, Debut Buddies, a podcast about firsts. And you can find us online at No Show Monster. You can email us, noshowmonster@gmail.com. And
happy spookies.
Happy spookies.
Happy spookies.